Hey everyone, General Scar here. The Smissmas update for TF2 has finally been released. It's about time, I guess. It's almost Christmas, so kind of surprised it's been released this late. Maybe it has in the past, I haven't really noticed. But anyway, with this update, they have added new items to the game, like the hats and miscellaneous items from the crates, and maybe new weapons yet. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe not. They usually do, though, I think. But they did add festive weapons, so that's good. But then they also did some bug fixes, and they also modified a few of the weapons. So I'm gonna go over the weapons right now and have some gameplay video in the back, hopefully showing off all the different weapons. If I can't get any gameplay of it, then I'll just like say on the screen I couldn't do it, because there's one of them on here that it has a spy. I'm not very good at spy, but I'll just get into the weapons. So first off, the battalion's backup for soldier. It now adds a plus 20 max HP passive buff for the wearer. So now whenever the soldier equips the battalion's backup, they get 20 extra health, which is pretty amazing. That's definitely a reason to put it on, 20 extra health. I mean, that gives you 220 in total just with default items and everything. I don't know if there's any other soldier items that actually increase your health, so there should definitely be more soldiers having that then. Next we have the Conqueror, which adds plus 2 health per second for the soldier, which gives you health regeneration, which like pretty much I think just like the medic. I think he gets plus 2 or plus 3, I'm not exactly sure. But that's interesting. I'm definitely going to start using the Conqueror more now because of that. Because, you know, health regeneration, there's many times a soldier where I've had like just running away with super tiny little amount of health trying to get to a health pack, but just couldn't because like fire damage or something, but this will definitely help with that. So next we have the Criticola for Scout, and what this does is reduces the consumption penalty from 25% extra damage to 10% damage, which means when you use the Criticola, instead of taking 25% more damage, you only take 10%. So that's definitely a big change for that. That's like almost minimal amount of damage, extra damage taken from that. So that's definitely probably going to see more use in that, because that's become much more useful, maybe, I guess, as useful as the Criticola could be. Next we have the Flying Guillotine, which had a very small change. When you have it equipped, if you alternate attack, like if you right click or something, it will also throw the guillotine instead of just being the main attack. It's not anything different, it's just kind of like a bug fix maybe, I don't know. Then we have the Soda Popper. This one's a big one. Hype no longer grants mini crits. So when you get hype, when you're running around and you get hype, you don't get mini crits anymore. You just get hype mode, which now what hype mode is pretty much hype. You have to get the meter to the very top of the bar, but when it gets there, it's not going to automatically activate. So what you do is you alternate attack, and it'll activate it, and it gives you 5 extra air jumps when active. So this opens up like anywhere for the Scout to be able to go. If you have like Soda Popper, Winger, and the Atomizer, then you can just get like probably across the map without even touching the ground in most cases, or just like covered huge areas with this. So that's a pretty impressive update for that. The Diamondback for the Spy, instead of also getting criticals only from sapping sentries, you now get critical attacks on successful backstabs. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of the Diamondback, definitely. Because before, like, you sap a building, but how many times are you really going to sap buildings to get those crits? So now you can get a backstab on somebody, like a medic, and then if you miss the backstab on whoever he's healing, maybe? Whoever he's healing, then you can still pull out the crit and just like hit him with the crit and still do a lot of damage, if not kill him instantly still. So this is a pretty big change to that, and you're definitely going to see more of that, I'm sure. And the final big weapon change they added was the Short Circuit, which is for the engineer, and I'm definitely going to start using this weapon more because of what they've done. They've increased the attack speed greatly, apparently. It just says, from what I'm reading, greatly. I don't know exactly how much faster it's going to be, but they increased the attack speed, and then the ammunition cost has been lowered from 36 metal if you miss and 18 metal if you hit to just 5 metal to attack. So if you get 200 metal, you could attack like a lot, even if you're missing. So that's definitely a big buff for this, and it's very useful now, because now you can just get rid of all that spam that's coming at your sentries a lot easier and not have to worry so much about the metal. And players and buildings are only targeted if in range and in front of attacking player. Improved visual effects. So they just, like, I guess, changed the look of it and edited a bit for attacking. A few small changes. The Beggar's Bazooka has been updated to use the same taunt as the direct hit. I think before it just used default rocket launcher taunt. Now I guess it uses direct hit. I don't know exactly what that looks like. I don't ever use the direct hit, so. Then Professional Kill Streak, Man Tread, Splendid Screed, and Charge and Targe now generate proper effects when on a kill streak, and they do not. The effects do not stack if another kill streak weapon effect is active. I guess if you have like the. Oh yeah, okay. If you have like the Man Treads, the Splendid Screen, or the Charge and Targe, if you have a kill streak weapon for that, and then you have a kill streak for like maybe your sword or rocket launcher, those effects won't stack on top of each other, so you won't get like double kill streak effects. So that's all the weapon changes that they did, all the big weapon changes. Now there's a few smaller changes. One of the bigger smaller changes, I guess, is the head and miscellaneous slots for player loadouts have been converted into cosmetic slots. So what this means is you can have 3 miscellaneous items at once, if you want. 3 misc items, or even like 3 hats if they're able to stack on top of each other somehow. Like that's incredible. That opens up like a bunch of different things, because there's many times where I wish I could just equip one more miscellaneous item, but I couldn't because there's only 2 misc slots. Now you can have 3 miscs, or a hat, 2 miscs, maybe possibly 2 hats and 1 misc. I don't know. It depends on what slots they take up. So they're all categorized under cosmetics now. So that's a big change for that. And then a bunch of unusual effects got different like positioning things added. You can change the position for all cosmetic slot items. I think that's just goes with the update for the last one. New origin for the circling effects. So now there's a few bugs that have been fixed that I am happy for and somewhat disappointed with. First one, fixed an exploit where players could move around while using a taunt to attack enemies. If you've seen those videos, that's a big deal, because you could essentially, with the scout, drink a bonk atomic punch, become invincible, taunt, and then just like taunt kill somebody because you're able to move around. But they fixed that. But then they also fixed the exploit, is what they're calling it, with the rocket jumper and the soldier's grenade taunt. So if you had the rocket jumper equipped and you use the equalizer or escape plan's taunt, you wouldn't die from it because it's like a suicide attack. They changed that to where you do die now, which is kind of sad, because that's always fun to use and watch people use. So they added an update updated the backpack to automatically filter for valid items when using a tool. Now that's kind of worded weird, but what I think it means is that if you like use paint or like a decal or something, then it'll automatically just show all the items that can, or even like maybe a key, it'll show all the items that can use that instead of you having to scroll through all your inventory and everything, maybe. Or maybe it added a filter option to where you can select it and then filter this things. I'm not exactly sure. That doesn't say much. So that's pretty much all the Smissmas bug fixes and general changes to things. They added all the general Smissmas stuff, new weapons, not new weapons, maybe new weapons, I'm not exactly sure, I don't think so though. New hats, new cosmetic items, as they're called now. They give you presents and stuff like that, so they added a gift-a-pult, which can be used to launch gifts to randomly chosen online players, which I think what that is like a normal, you give a gift to a random person on a server, but this it gives a random person to anywhere, just so if they're like playing the game, then you can, even if they're not in your server or anything, they get the gift that you send out anyway. So hopefully, if that's what that is, I'll be getting a bunch of gifts, because hopefully I'm that lucky, but probably not. So expect a live commentary soon. I'm very excited about this update. I mean, there's not a few things changed, I guess, but I don't know. I've always been excited for Christmas stuff. So see you then.